Here, back at the Fantasy Bar, kicking off your weekend with 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. We've got some guys that are underpriced, some great power spots, some of my favorite values and buy lows. Of course, my favorite starting pitcher on the entire slate, and a bat I absolutely love in a great spot. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. It's time to belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. Here's Daily Fantasy Six-Pack, breaking down this big Friday night slate. 6 of my favorite guys fresh off the tap for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out today's video. Before we get to those plays for Friday night, do me a favor. Take a second, click that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content. All right, weather looks okay for tonight, as always. Any changes need to be made, we'll do so in that YouTube comment section and on Twitter. We do have Coors Field on the docket, Arizona, in a great spot. Obviously, one of the best options for you, but as always here in the six-pack, we want to give you some options outside of Coors Field. All right, let's get rolling here with our first play in the outfield with Trent Grisham of the Yankees. The Grisham red-hot start cooled off a little bit, starting to heat up again here, but regardless, these prices still too low. Sitting atop this potent Yankees offense, I know they've had somewhat of a lull here of late. This is a juggernaut offense. It's going to wake up sooner rather than later. So paying these prices on the guy hitting leadoff with Aaron Judge behind you, just way too cheap here on Trent Grisham, especially with the numbers we've seen against right-handed pitching this season. We're talking a WOBA over 390 and ISO over 270 for him. Now, Sagano, low strikeout guy, so that helps as well. Should get plenty of balls in play here. Just a 13% strikeout rate against lefties, giving up hard contact as well at over 43%. And surface numbers look good, but look at that batting average on balls in play at just 220. So been very lucky here against left-handed hitters. Eventually, those numbers are going to flip here. It is a sneaky good power spot for Trent Grisham. All right, let's go to another guy in the outfield who's been somewhat cold of late, and that's George Springer of Toronto. So we talk about this a lot of people just looking at the box scores and what have you done for me lately? Well, Springer, not a whole lot. That should help keep ownership down here. I think this is a good spot for him to get it back going again against the right-hander in Davis Martin. Second on this team behind our boy Addison Barger in both WOBA and ISO, 358 WOBA, ISO over 200, so showing some solid power against righties this year. Now look at Martin, 16% strikeout rate, giving up a 348 WOBA to righties, a 47% fly ball rate, and a barrel rate over 11%. So like I mentioned, I think this is a spot George Springer could get it going. Probably 2-3% own here. Take advantage with George Springer tonight against Mr. Martin. All right, speaking of pitchers, let's get you my favorite starting pitcher for the night, and it's Nick Paveta of the Padres. So just too cheap here. I was surprised to see these prices on Nick Paveta at just $9,300 on DraftKings, $9,000 on FanDuel. Some of the lowest prices we've gotten all season long. This guy's been pitching extremely well. No reason his prices shouldn't be up near 10K on DK. Look at the last 6 starts, 7 or more strikeouts, and went over 20 DraftKings points in 4 of those 6 starts. Now, I get it. Kansas City does not strike out a lot, but look at our projections on Nick Paveta, over 6 strikeouts here for him. And we're talking about a team in the Royals that just doesn't have a lot of punch in that lineup outside of Bobby Witt Jr. We're talking a team that's bottom 4 in WOBA, ISO, and WRC plus this season against right-handed pitching. You add in that projection of over 6 strikeouts here, makes Nick Paveta too cheap and in a great spot against the Kansas City Royals. All right, let's go back to the bats and save you some money in the outfield with Cam Smith of Houston. Now, you talk about an impact. This guy has come in and made an immediate impact on this team. 4 multi-hit games from over the last 10, 15 hits over that span, along with 7 RBI, has shown nice power, has put some big games on the board, and has absolutely been crushing left-handed pitching. Look at the numbers here, some video game numbers for Cam Smith. WOBA's over 500, and the ISO way up at 536. Now, Kikuchi certainly can be vulnerable to the long ball. Gives up a lot of hard contact at over 52%, a barrel rate pushing 13%, and a whopping 9 home runs already this year. Cam Smith, one of my favorite values on the board tonight against Kikuchi. All right, let's continue with the values at first base with our boy, Nick Curts. So we spotlighted Curts in our last video, said he was too cheap. Price moved up a little bit. I don't think it's gone up nearly high enough. Probably a $4,500 bat right now. He's sitting at $3,500 on DraftKings and a flat $3,000 on FanDuel, destroying right-handed pitching this season. 377 WOBA, 276 ISO. And look at that hard contact rate all the way up at 71% this season. Tanner Bybee, a guy that is vulnerable with left-handed power, 222 ISO allowed. That combination we're looking for. Fly ball rate and hard contact rate are there, and it's led to 8 home runs for lefties, and then Curts could add to that total. Keep buying low here on one of our favorite values in Nick Curts. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. All you got to do, click that thumbs up button, head to the comment section, and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. If your guess is the closest, you're going to walk away with a free week of RotoGrinders Premium just for hanging out with me today in the fantasy bar. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite bat for Friday night. You know, Matt's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. I want to get you a guy that we can pivot from Coors on the higher end, and for me, that is Jose Ramirez of the Guardians, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, again, not saying Coors isn't a good spot here, but Sacramento is right there as a great hitter's ballpark here, so a big-time upgrade for Jose Ramirez. And it's not only the power, but the speed has been there as well. So lots of paths here to fantasy upside for Jose Ramirez. And this guy has absolutely crushed left-handed pitch. So we go all the way back to the start of last season and look at the numbers for Jose Ramirez, some of the best in all of baseball. 439 WOBA against lefties and a 292 ISO over that big stretch of games. Jeffrey Springs somewhat lucky against righties this season, and you can feel it in his numbers. The surface numbers look okay, but 238 BABIP certainly due for some regression. And our power recipe that we are always looking for, that combination of fly ball rate and hard contact rate is there. 32 and 44%, 11 home runs allowed, 2 right-handed hitters here. And that park upgrade is huge in Sacramento. Coors Field Light, as some love to call it. Add it all up, Jose Ramirez, easily my favorite play on the board and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Friday six-pack. As always, any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video or on Twitter at Beermakersfan. And don't forget your guess for my highest scoring hitters DraftKings points for a shot to win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching today's video. Best of luck on tonight's slate. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on RotoGrinders.com/videos.